Hey everybody, Austin here again with a Let's Play video. As you can see, it's going to be Power Strike for the Sega Master System, a top-down, vertically scrolling shooter by Compile. This is a really cool shoot-'em-up for the system, generally perceived as being extremely challenging. However, I've learned recently, through actually finishing the game for the first time, that there are specific strategies you can pick up and play by that will make your playthroughs way more consistent, your chances of survival way higher. And so what we're going to do here is actually play through this notoriously difficult shooter, well, by 8-bit standards anyway, and I'm going to talk about my strategies and just talk about how the game works and stuff like that, and we're going to play through all 6 stages. And then afterwards, once we beat the game, I'm going to show you the bonus level that you unlock after you beat the game. So once we beat the final boss, stick around so you can see that bonus level. And yeah, I'm just going to talk my way through the game as I usually do, and just talk about the mechanics and why I do things the way I do, and in hopes of helping some of you guys out there that actually really like to play these games and really try to dive into them and actually try to finish them, to add another notch under your belt or something like that. I don't know. If you don't really play a whole lot of games, but you know, you're just trying to get a nostalgia hit, kick back and relax. We should be able to go through the whole game. If you haven't seen the whole game before, you should be able to now. So just kick back, relax, and enjoy the live playthrough. So let's go ahead and hit button number 1. There's a small little screen here. If you've actually started a game and you've gotten a game over, it'll kick you back to the title screen. You can select continue to basically continue where you left off. So let's go ahead and hit New Game Start. It just tosses us right into the game. Button number 1 does this little orange shot right here. And then button number 2 will do our special attack. So if we look in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, the top right number is the weapon type that we have. So I'm going to switch over to number 8 right here, which is a nice little wavy shot. The middle number that just appeared is ammunition. So everything other than weapon number 1 have ammunition, and so your ammo will run out. What's actually really cool about the ammunition, it's actually really interesting for a game of this era, is that the ammo only drops when you actually use your weapon. So, you know, if you want to try to conserve some ammo, just don't use your special weapon. Now, you're going to want to be using your special weapon as often as possible in this game. However, there are a couple of dead zones in this game where you can get away with just using your yellow shot, especially as your yellow shot gets upgraded. So you notice that I actually have a 2-way yellow shot right now, and that is because I picked up those yellow pellets, the little P icons. And you can eventually get up to level 3, which is a 3-way shot. And as you level up your yellow shot, you can actually fire more projectiles back to back with it. So my second level shot, I'm actually firing more projectiles than I was with my level 1 shot. And then, so once you get your yellow shot up to level 3, it's a lot easier to just use your yellow shot to conserve ammunition. Also, you want to do a lot of what's called point blanking in this game, where you just get really close to enemies. Shots like your yellow shot, as well as your number 6 shot, will fire out a lot more rapidly the closer you get to enemies. Now, this game does have auto-fire. There's no button mashing in this game. There is literally no reason to button mash in this game. So, you're just at the mercy of the auto-fire that's just kind of baked into the game. And so you want to get close to the bigger enemies to do more rapid damage much faster. So, your weapon types. You have 8 different weapon types. Number 1 is your default. You always start with that. And you can upgrade that twice, actually. It's this little blue ball that you can fire in any direction. Any direction you're pointing in is where it will fire. I'm going to pick up that number 6 right there, which replenishes my ammunition. Number 2 is a really powerful charge shot. It's a charge shot that actually, the charge appears right in front of your ship, and it can block bullets, which is very handy, so it can be used as a shield. But then when you release it, it's a really powerful charge blast that goes all the way across the screen and then cuts through everything. Very good weapon. I highly recommend using that, especially if you don't have something like number 6 or number 8 to rely on. I replenished my number 6 ammo again. And this is our boss fight. Every boss in the game is a turret, just like this. It's a series of turrets. And there we go. The first one is very easy. The second one's probably not that hard either. I mean, a lot of them really aren't that hard until stage 4 or 5. And there are only 6 stages in the game, but stages 5 and 6 are pretty long. So, you know, the game takes probably a little over a half an hour to go through if you have a pretty smooth run and you don't have to continue. So continuing down with our weapons, weapon number 3 is a focused laser shot. And it's a really powerful weapon, but it does not cancel bullets. So one thing you want to focus on in this game is using weapons that cancel bullets. You'll notice that number 6 here does cancel bullets, the red bullets. The blue bullets that you see, they can be canceled with anything. They're destructible bullets by nature. The red bullets cannot be destroyed except for with specific weapons. So that's why you want to focus on weapon number 6, weapon number 2, sometimes weapon 7, weapon number 8. Numbers 4 and 5 will also cancel out bullets, but they're not particularly useful weapons. I don't recommend them. But speaking of which, number 3 does not cancel bullets, and so it's a powerful shot, but you're leaving a lot of bullets on screen, which means you're more likely to run into a stray bullet and die. And so really what you want to do in this game is minimize the amount of bullets that are on the screen, and that's how you raise your chances of survival. Weapon number 4 is a rotating ball around your ship. It doesn't reach out very far on the screen and just kind of stays around you. It does cancel bullets, but it's also just, it's not particularly useful in my opinion. Weapon number 5 is this weird little spinning like homing shot. It's really, really slow to go across the screen. Does cancel bullets, so it's okay in a pinch as like a last resort. But overall, I don't recommend it. Number 6 is what we have right here, and unfortunately I ran out of ammo, so when I picked up my next number 6, it went back down to level 1, whereas previously I had it at level 2. Most weapons in this game can be upgraded to the second level, its second firepower level. However, weapon number 1 can be upgraded to a third firepower level, so it starts off as this little ball, and then you collect the power up again, it turns into a slightly bigger ball. And then if you pick it up a third time, or I should say pick it up a second time technically, because you technically start with weapon number 1. I'm going to actually switch over to weapon number 2 while I'm at it. If you upgrade your weapon 1 shot to level 3, it'll be a dual ball shot, which is pretty handy. And the balls are actually pretty big. And this is a little mini boss. You see these quite a few times over the course of the game. Weapon number 7 is kind of like weapon number 2, except that it is a much larger ball in the front of your ship, but it also doesn't shoot out as a projectile, which is why I think number 2 is actually much better than weapon number 7, because you can unleash it as this really powerful charge shot. And you can also use it as a form of protection, just like I've been doing for the last couple of minutes now. And then weapon number 8, I already showed it off on level 1. It's this really nice wavy shot. It also cancels out bullets. And so if you can get weapon number 8 upgraded, that is a very nice projectile. So one thing I haven't mentioned is there are extra lives in this game from points. And it is actually very easy to get extra lives in this from points. So once your yellow shot is actually maxed out, which it is right now, it's still good to grab those little yellow pellets, the power-up pellets. The reason for that is you still get points for them. And, you know, every point you get is working towards your next extra life. You can see we're already up to 7 lives right now. And I went ahead and switched back over to weapon number 6. Weapon number 2 is really good, but I do find weapons 6 and 8 to be the best during the levels themselves. Weapon number 2 is actually really awesome for boss fights, because it just cuts through everything, and it just mows down these turrets extremely quickly. Now you'll notice that as I've been playing, there have been power-up icons, some weapon power-up icons in the ground. Towards the end of the game, that mechanic stops, and you have to rely on weapon drops that come from the sky. So what's really interesting is you have what I call weapon droids. I don't know what their actual name is because I haven't looked in the manual. But you have these weapon droids that come out from the top of the screen, either from the left or right top of the screen, and they will drop weapons in order. So you see that one just came out. It's number 8 right now. The next one that appears will be number 1. And then the one after that will be number 2, then 3, and so on. And that is a crucial mechanic you have to play by in this game. You have to be looking at your ammunition. So I'm at 39, 38, 37 right now on ammo. Weapon number 1 just dropped, so the next one's going to be weapon 2. The question is, can I carry my weapon 6 until the next weapon 6 drop? With all the enemies, it's probably not. So maybe what I should do is switch over to weapon number 2 when it appears, which is right there. Oh, and I died like an idiot. I went trying to grab the weapon, and that was just really dumb. So now we have to try to recover. And we will see if we can do that. The key to recovering in this game is just not playing super risky. It is just, you know, in a way, you even want to just stay away from some enemies, just so you can better survive. Don't get greedy. That's the key to survival in this. And then as you play through the game, survival, I think, actually becomes easier, funny enough, because the reason for that is... all right, I'm going to switch over to weapon number 5 because it cancels bullets. The reason it's easier to survive, I think, later in the game is that you have more boss fights that appear. More turret-based boss fights. The significance of that is that on turret-based boss fights, well, for one, it's pretty easy to survive on them. Those boss fights are a lot less chaotic than the normal levels themselves. But you can also just kind of sit at the boss and wait for a weapon to appear that you really like. Whereas right now, I don't have that luxury. I'm constantly being bombarded by bullets and enemies from all different directions. So my goal right now is to just kind of play it safe, cancel out the red bullets when I can, which is why I switched over to number 5, because it does at least cancel bullets. And you can see just all the stuff happening on screen. You can see why people think this is a really challenging game. And it is a challenging game, but once you learn the tactics, you can start getting through it really consistently. It does require you to play smart, and that's actually what I really like about this game. There are a lot of shoot-'em-ups out there where they are kind of brain dead. You know, it's a genre that gets a bad rap sometimes for being just, oh, that's brain dead. It's not interesting, or I'm not using my brain. I'm just holding down the fire button and that's it. Aleste here, Power Strike, you really have to be on top of your game. You have to really be thinking about what you're doing. So I upgraded weapon number 5, but you can see how it almost has just like a little mind of its own. And hopefully I should be upgrading to weapon number 2. No, sorry, my second level yellow shot, and I just did, which is nice. But yeah, this thing does home in, and there's weapon number 6. Let's grab that. Now, one thing I haven't mentioned is when you do pick up a new weapon, what's really cool is you do get invincibility frames. So you can actually just cut through enemies and bullets just briefly. So that's actually a really good tactic to know. And this boss just likes to chase you to wherever you are in the screen. There we go, he's gone. So now we're kind of back in business. You know, I've got weapon number 6, I've got plenty of ammo for it. But on these turret boss fights, you can just sit here and try to grind out on your yellow power-up icons. For one, you're getting points, but you're also working towards getting your yellow shot upgraded again. And then you can also kind of sit around and try to pick up a weapon that you want. So weapon number 8 is going to appear here any moment. I'm going to just keep firing towards the middle. There it is. There's weapon number 8. I'm going to go and actually switch over to it because my ammo was getting a little low on weapon number 6. Weapon number 8's not a lot better right now because I do have to wait for it to go off screen before I can fire it again, which is kind of a bummer. But I wanted to make sure I had plenty of ammunition on it when I go into my next level. Again, keep picking up those yellow P icons. There's weapon number 1. Now, as you kind of sit on these boss fights, more and more enemies start to spawn in. And some of these boss fights will actually time out as well. But what I'm doing right here is I'm kind of manipulating the weapon drops. So there's weapon number 2. The closer I can get it to weapon number 6, the more likely I'll be able to pick up weapon number 6 early in that next level. There's weapon number 3. And I'm also farming for points at the same time. It's a valid strategy in shoot-'em-ups when you're playing for high score. If a game lets you farm like this, it is allowed. It's called milking. So that's weapon number 4. And it looks like it just timed out and we just killed the boss. That's fine. So the next weapon that's going to drop from the droid is going to be weapon number 5. And then by the time I'm out of ammo on weapon number 8, weapon number 6 should appear. So we're at round 4. We're already pretty far into the game. Made pretty good progress so far. And we got to recover on the last level, which was great. Like I said, it is totally possible to recover. And we... Oh, fudge! Okay, that's bad. I wasn't expecting to die like that. But it's okay if we can collect weapon number 6. We'll be doing okay again. It's okay, I died once. That's fine. Like I said, we're probably going to die a lot in this playthrough. It's just kind of the nature of this game. Weapon number 6 should be here any moment. Oh, died again. That's fine. Alright, come on, weapon 6. Where the hell are you? There it is. Alright, got it. Alright, now we just stay at the bottom of the screen. So what's really interesting about this game is that there are no enemies that spawn from the bottom of the screen. There are some that spawn close to the bottom, but they never come up from behind. They always come out from the sides or the tops of the screen. So with number 6 here, I can just kind of focus on taking out these enemies from the sides. That's weapon number 7. And I'm going to just try to stick with weapon number 6. Just focus on taking out enemies, watching where the bullets are coming from. You've got these little turrets on the sides, these eyeball-looking turrets almost. Grab my yellow power-up icons. We've got some more ground weapons here. There's number 4. See, is it going to do a 5 and a 6? Doesn't look like it. Alright, turret boss. There's weapon number 1. And what I might end up doing is just grabbing weapon number 2. So that was a boss, but now we're right back into the level. So as you play through the game, the levels get longer and longer. So from this point on, just because you see a turret boss doesn't mean you're actually at the main boss fight for that level. And I've only got 6 ammunition, so I might need to swap over to weapon number 2. Weapon number 2 should be appearing any moment. There it is. I'm going to go ahead and swap to it. Cycle around like this. And that is gone. Now those things always split off into a bunch of little missiles. So you've got to be aware of that so you don't get, sideswiped by them. Or blindsided by them. There's weapon number 3. So again, the weapons just constantly come in order. You need to just keep an eye on that. And I'm just using number 2 as a shield. You really want to get rid of these, like, yellowish-orange enemies from the sides, because they will just kind of sit there on the screen and just constantly shoot at you. And there, you can see, look at that, they're just sitting there, and it's like, what can I do about it? Let's try to squeeze in, just like that. Very tough. Very tense. Another extra life, we're back up to 8 lives already. One thing I love about weapon number 2 is that you barely use any ammo when you use it. So that is one really great thing about that weapon. With weapon number 6 or weapon number 8, you know, you end up burning through your ammo pretty quickly, and then you're stuck, like, without anything, without a decent weapon that cuts through bullets. So if you can play really patient, number 2 is a completely viable weapon that you can use for the entire game. This is probably our actual boss fight. There's weapon number 8. A good trick on these turret bosses is just to kind of focus on one part of the set of turrets. Oops, I died. I was not planning on that. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is just try to just grind out on stuff. So that's weapon number 1, slightly upgraded. I found that the power pellets also, they tend to come out more as you destroy projectiles and things like that, and enemies. So these bosses will just constantly throw out these blue projectiles, and as that happens and you shoot them, more of these power pellets will start dropping. So you can use these turret bosses to basically, like, grind out. Unfortunately, the power pellets, the yellow power pellets, they disappear when you destroy a boss like that. Alright, so we're on to stage 5. Not a great showing on that level. I made a lot of really dumb mistakes as far as dying, but that's just how this game is. You have to be really on point with this game. Alright, weapon number 1, let's go ahead and grab that. So I probably should switch over to weapon number 2. Much safer than weapon number 1. And there's weapon number 6. Let's grab 2 of them. That is definitely my preferred weapon. It's nice that they're actually starting us off with some decent weapons from the beginning. But this level's going to be even longer than the previous one, so we're definitely going to run out of ammo. We're going to have to switch weapons. Turret boss number 1. Try to get my yellow up to level 3. I can just destroy these bullets, let power pellets drop, collect them, try to get my shot up to level 3 before I progress. Alright, we got some upgrades. We're probably really close to yellow level 3. Yep, there it is. So again, I wasn't rushing through that boss. I was trying to grind out a little bit so I can get my main shot upgraded. Having your main shot upgraded is actually pretty important in this game because it's the widest, it's the most powerful, and you shoot the most projectiles with it. Alright, that's weapon number 5 that just dropped, so weapon number 6 will be next. By the time that drops, hopefully I will still have some ammo so I can keep my power-up level on it. Now you gotta remember, with the weapon turrets that come out, or the weapon droids that come out, they come out from the left or right-hand side of the screen. So you don't want to be shooting towards those parts of the screen, otherwise you will make them disappear too quickly. So when I know there's going to be a weapon coming out that I really want, I kind of focus my ship towards the center of the screen, because I don't want to shoot the weapon pod too early, which will make it go off the screen before I can even get to it. And then I'll run out of ammo, then I'll basically be screwed. And I'll have to switch over to a weapon that's not quite as ideal, for instance. Now, I know the commentary in this playthrough is kind of repetitious, but I'm just kind of vocalizing how you have to think when you're playing this game. If you don't play like this, you are going to get wrecked in this game. You really have to play methodically. You have to be thinking intentionally as you're playing. It's not just a turn your brain off kind of shoot 'em up. You've got to be paying attention to all your bullets, obviously, but you have to be thinking about, okay, what weapon is going to be appearing next? So that's weapon number 1, so weapon number 2 will be next. And it might be one of those things where I'd have to switch to weapon number 2 because I'll probably have no ammo by the time weapon number 6 comes back out. There's number 2. And what I can do is actually try to just grind out again. Let's see if we can just use our yellow shot. Another extra life, up to 10 lives. Take advantage of the slowdown, too. In these old 8-bit shoot-em-ups, slowdown was very, very normal. And it also made the games a lot easier. So that's number 4. Number 5 will be next. Now, as far as I'm aware, there's no rhythm or rhyme to where the power-up appears from, like whether it's going to come out from the left or the right. There's number 5, get it off the screen, that way weapon 6 can start spawning in sooner rather than later. And again, since I know weapon 6 will be appearing, I want to try to keep my shots towards the middle of the screen. There's number 6, let it go across the screen, boom, got it. Back up to 80 ammunition. So that is really one of the keys to survival in this game, is really thinking about what weapons are going to be appearing and then planning for them. Another little boss fight. So in a way I can kind of do what I was doing before and just sort of grind out. Try to manipulate the weapon drops. There's number 8. Alright, next one will be number 2. My ammo's at 59 and 58, which is fine. So I'm just trying to manipulate this in a way to where we can get closer to number 6 appearing. That way I can re-up my ammo. There's number 2. Look at all this flicker. And we're also farming for points in the process. There's number 3. And the level continues. There's still more. Like I said, these last 2 levels, they start to get pretty long. So I should have enough ammo for when number 6 appears. I'll be able to just continue my weapon usage. As you can see how the side to side with weapon number 6 is insanely useful in this game. It allows me to minimize what we call popcorn enemies. The enemies that usually take about 1 hit. And it keeps them from shooting. Alright, so we gotta focus on the center. So we can grab weapon number 6 again. There it is. And we got it. Good deal. Back up to in the 70s as far as ammo is concerned. We should be close to the main boss fight for this level. Those red little circular spiky looking things, they never go towards the far bottom of the screen. They'll always like just ride above you. If you just hug the back of the screen, they never actually hit the far bottom. So one of the tricks in this game is to make sure you're not sitting out in the middle of the screen at all times. Now, it's different if you're on a boss fight like this. You can get up close, but in the levels themselves, you really want to just sit towards the back at all times. Weapon number 1. We're going to try to manipulate the weapons again. Oops, or not. I didn't realize I was doing that much damage. 13 lives. Alright, so on to the last level. The last level has one new gimmick, and it is these ground tiles that can be destroyed, but they will also flip up and appear into the sky. And, you know, if you run into them, you will die. And so you have to really keep tabs on the background on this level. There's a tile, here's another one, and it's a common theme throughout this stage, so you've got to be very careful about that. When I was first learning this level, I would just get wrecked by them over and over and over again. I'm going to try to just focus on the mini-boss. Now those tiles, if you're playing for score, those tiles actually give you pretty good points. So you kind of want to try to destroy all of them if you can. There's weapon number 4. I'm getting low on weapon number 6, so I want to try to see if I can just use my yellow shot, because I really don't want to lose weapon 6. I don't want to lose its upgrade. And there's another mini-boss. Oh, and of course I died because I was focused on just conserving my ammo. Alright, there's weapon number 5. Let's go ahead and grab it. Interesting that that little mini-boss enemy actually just went off screen. I'm surprised about that. Again, gotta watch out for those tiles. It's those solid purple ones. Weapon number 6 will be our next one. It'll be level 1, unfortunately, but it's better than nothing. There it is. It's gonna go partway across the screen. Ooh, and I got it. Then now we can also use this boss to try to grind out on yellow pellets, get my yellow shot upgraded again. You know, recovery is a thought process as well. You really have to think about how you're going to recover. Do you use the boss fight to get upgraded? Or do you try to just annihilate it as fast as possible? I don't really recommend the latter. I recommend kind of taking your time, getting slowly upgraded again. There we go. Yellow shot level 2. Oh! That's what I get for not paying attention. Alright. Let's try to get our yellow shot upgraded again. Wow. But you can see the longer you try to milk points on these bosses, the more intense the bosses get. And it timed out on us. Oh well, not the end of the world. Now, the only thing about weapon number 8 is I don't think it's great on these little mini-bosses. It just doesn't do super rapid damage on them. Which is why I much prefer weapon number 6 overall. And there's weapon number 1. Looks like we upgraded to level 2 on our yellow shot, which is good. Now, those little mini-bosses coming down to the bottom of the screen does make things a little more shisty. Actually, you know what? I'm going to grab number 2. Good little shield, but also it is way more powerful than weapon number 8 was. There it is. I'm going to sit right here to block its missile. Nope. Didn't actually shoot out any missiles. Interesting. And realistically, what I should probably do is stop focusing on weapon number 6 at this point and just use weapon number 2 for the rest of the level. A typical play for me is to have this weapon at the final boss. It's just really good on the final boss, and so it's like, why not just keep it for the rest of the level? It'll make my chances of survival much higher. You know, if I'm constantly trying to chase weapon number 6 or an upgraded weapon 8, there's a good chance I'm going to die in the process of trying to get those. As my ammunition runs out. So, upgrading my yellow shot. And we continue. 14 lives. Alright, he is down. There's number 6. I was gonna say, I should have grabbed that, but that's okay. You can see that my ammo for weapon number 2 is still in the 40s. Like, I've barely used anything. And it's done a lot of damage. Here's weapon number 7. Weapon number 7 is definitely useful from a defensive standpoint, but my point of view in this game is that offense is the best form of defense in this game. And weapon number 7 will do damage if you get up close to enemies, but then you have to get really close to enemies to really make it worthwhile, and it's just not really worth it. You're better off sitting back with weapon number 2, or weapon number 6 or 8. Alright, we're actually getting close to the end now. There's weapon number 1, so I'll go ahead and pick up weapon number 2 again. You can see we're still in the 30s for weapon number 2. Oops! Really wanted to grab another one, but that's fine. I'll have to just wait for it to come down. Oops! That was my fault. There's weapon number 2 right there. Got it. That was kind of dangerous waiting until it was right at the edge of the screen, but it's okay. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at the enemy on the other side of the screen, so I lost my decent weapon. So what I'll do is just try to kind of grind out on power-ups again. We still have 13 lives left. I think we'll be fine. You can really see how, like, focus is also really important in this game. And when I get distracted by stuff on the other side of the screen, and I'm not focusing on where my ship is, I start running into stuff that I normally wouldn't run into. It's weapon number 4. I'll go ahead and pick that up just to show it off. You can see how it's like, not preferable. Wow, what did I get hit by? Maybe one of those tiny missiles? Jeez. Just losing lives like crazy right now. It's a pretty decent run overall, but this last level or two has not been great in terms of survival. I've not been playing great. Alright, it's weapon number 5. Well, we should go ahead and just grab that. And then weapon 6 will be next. This is probably our last section, and then we'll go to the final boss. There's number 6. Go ahead and grab it. Alright, now we're back in business. Much better weapon than weapon number 5 or 4. Oop! Oh my god, what am I doing? I thought I would destroy that tile, but nope, I'm not powerful enough. This is where you just start avoiding stuff. You don't even bother trying to get the points. You don't bother killing things, you just sit back, you avoid things. I actually was trying to rush to weapon number 7. God damn, this run is really bad now. We started off really, really strong. And then I started getting distracted. But that's fine. We are definitely going to get this. We have too many lives to fail. Also, like I said, the bosses in this game I don't find to be very difficult at all. Even the final boss itself. I mean, it's the same concept as every other turret boss in the entire game. It just looks a little bit cooler. But basically, I mean, like, if you've been paying attention to this playthrough and kind of understanding, like, why I've been doing things the way I have been, you know, it's pretty easy to see that once you play a certain way, it is very doable to get through this game, even if you died 12 times like I have. It probably has been 12 times. It sure feels like it. I think one of my problems right now is I don't have the air conditioning on, and it's like in the Washington, D.C. area in the United States, it's getting pretty warm, and it's only like the end of March. It was like 85 degrees yesterday. The weather doesn't know what it wants to do. And when it gets warm in my apartment, I start getting uncomfortable and I start losing concentration. So realistically, what I should have done is turn the AC on, kept it nice and cool while I was doing this recording. But, oh well, it is what it is. So I ran out of ammo. Here's weapon number 3. I'll go ahead and grab that. Whoa, that's a lot of bullets. How am I going to cut through that? Oh, jeez. Turning into a bullet hell. Thankfully, the hitboxes are fairly decent in this game. Yeah, number 3, quite powerful. But again, it doesn't cancel the red bullets. So a good strategy on this boss, along with any other turret boss in the game, is just try to focus on one side and then just work your way over. And that's it. We're going to get ourselves a ton of points, which gives us 20 lives. So we end the game with 35 lives. So there you have it, guys. That was Power Strike. Not the best run. Probably a fairly normal run for people that finish this game, because like it is easy to lose focus and then just go into like a downward spiral of dying over and over and over again. So, but we still got through the game, and that's what counts. I don't think there's any reward for getting a 1 life clear or anything like that. It doesn't count down the amount of lives you have and give them as bonus points, so you don't have to worry about it in terms of scoring or anything like that. It's just, you know, as long as you're alive by the end of the game, you will finish the game and you will survive, and you know, that's all it is. So, you know, pretty basic stuff, which is actually kind of refreshing. I love deep scoring systems and shoot 'em ups, but it's just kind of nice to be able to play something like this that's just legitimately difficult, but also doesn't really focus too much on the actual score aspect itself. You know, no crazy multipliers or anything like that. So, you know, you can die a bunch and then still feel like you're going to get a lot of points at the end of the game, which is nice. So, but yeah, that was Power Strike, guys. And that is the end of the game. The events, characters, and names depicted in this game are fictitious. You don't say. Not that I even knew the events, characters, and names depicted in this game, because I don't have access to the manual. But let's go ahead and hit our buttons again. We're going to go back to our title screen. So what's actually really interesting now is if I go to continue game, we'll get ourselves a bonus level. It's called Round 0. It's a really easy level. It's nothing special. It's just a nice little bonus feature. And so we'll go ahead and play through this. It's a really short level. It's like level 1, except it goes by a hell of a lot faster. And then what's interesting about it is once you finish this level, it tosses you right back into stage 6. So you can try to go and beat the game again. Now, as far as I'm aware, there is no Loop 2, so there is no like higher difficulty in this game. I have gone through the game a second time after finishing it, and it just doesn't... It never felt like there were any more bullets or enemies on screen or anything like that. So, yeah, no second loop, as far as I'm aware. There is actually a sound test code you can do in this game, which is kind of cool. Which will just, like, you know, put the music on loop, which is really awesome. Or put it on repeat. So if you go to game FAQs for that, you can figure out how to do the sound test. But yeah, there might be like a debug menu as well. I don't remember. I was looking on the cutting room floor, which is a really great site for stuff like that. And I think there might be a debug menu on this. So yeah, there is some other stuff to do in the game. But once you beat the game and you do stage 0, that is basically it. There's not really anything else. No higher level difficulty or anything like that. But again, like I said, it just tosses you right into stage 6. So... But, yeah, that is it, guys. That is Power Strike, a.k.a. Aleste, for the Sega Master System. Really great start to an awesome shoot-'em-up series. I did want to mention early on, this is a, sort of like a spiritual successor to an earlier compile shmup called Xanac. That was on computers in Japan, and then it also came out to the Famicom and NES. And now that I've actually finished Power Strike and Aleste, I want to go back and try to do Xanac. I did mess around with it a little bit on Twitch one night, and I was having a pretty good time with it after having finished this. Xanac just kind of clicked better once I understood Power Strike. So if you guys want to see that sometime later this year, post a comment down below and let me know, and I'll try to get on to practicing that and try to show that off as a Let's Play. But yeah, this is a really fun game. Highly recommend it if you've never played it. If you're a fan of 8-bit shoot-'em-ups, this is definitely one of the better ones from that generation. You should definitely give it a try if you like the genre from back then. But yeah, not really a whole lot else to explain, guys. It is just a really awesome game, and there's others in the series I haven't put a lot of time into. Like, I haven't messed around with the sequel, which was on MSX apparently, and There's also some Game Gear Alestes or Alestes that I haven't really put much time into, like 2 or 3. And yeah, some others in the series that I would like to put more time into, including like Power Strike 2, which I think was a Euro exclusive, or at least it didn't come out in Japan or North America. May have come out in South America, but it definitely came out in Europe. So maybe I'll have to give that one a try too and see if we can do a Let's Play of that. But yeah, that's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this sort of thing and you're new to my channel, feel free to subscribe. I primarily do walkthrough playthroughs like this, and so if you like this sort of thing, definitely stick around. You know, keep in tune with what I post here. And for everyone already subbed, thank you, as always, for your continued support. Thanks for continuing to watch these videos. And especially thanks to those that actually comment on them, which makes doing these videos more interesting for me. So, but yeah, guys, thanks for sticking around and hanging out with me. I'll be back with another playthrough sometime soon, either in live stream or a dedicated Let's Play like this. So watch out for that. And until the next one, take it easy.